Hello and welcome. I'm Bonnie Libhart and you're watching Vision Plus along with
Emily.
Emily. You do know your name, don't you?
Yeah.
Hey, she's still nice to me, and here it is. You know, it's amazing how nice people are to each other right before the holiday season.
Really, right before the show, we're just the best of friends.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. But just wonder what it'll be if you don't get what you want the day after Christmas.
Oh,
are you going to still be nice?
I've got everything I want.
Oh, you do? Oh, what is that?
Maybe not everything I need, but...
Okay, hey, let's continue talking about how people can enjoy the holiday season. You know, I've decided, now this is really serious. Let's get really serious. I was thinking and just asking the Lord, really just asking the Lord, what He wanted people to hear. And He was just really talking to me that the challenge during the holiday season, I found the answer in 1 Corinthians 4, verse 21. Okay. And I'd like to read it in all four of these different versions. This one, the Living Bible, says, "Which do you choose? Shall I come with punishment and scolding? Or shall I come with quiet love and gentleness?" Now let's just think about Christmas Day and New Year's Day and all the days in between. A lot of times nerves are frayed and we're really kind of
so much to do.
Yeah, but what does it really matter if whether we get everything to do? Now in the modern language it says, "Which do you want? Shall I come to you to punish or in love and in a spirit of gentleness?" And of course the King James, "What will ye? Shall I come unto you with a rod or in love and in the spirit of meekness?" And in the Revised, "What do you wish? Shall I come to you with a rod or with love and a spirit of gentleness?" And I think that this is just what the Lord was saying, is that we need to give people the benefit of the doubt. Do you know, if you say something to me as a daughter to her mother, I can take that you're unhappy with something that I did, or I can say something to you and it could come across as I'm criticizing you. I don't know, like, what's the latest thing you came in and shocked me with?
Well, just a few minutes ago? Yeah. Okay, I just got an invitation, Vitaly in Kiev, the man that has the outreach, he's 28 years old, has an outreach to 10,000 kids. He's starting a Bible college in Kiev. And
that's Russia.
Yes, in the Ukraine. Yeah. And he's starting a Bible college. He's also starting a privately owned business that would manufacture picture frames, mirrors, pictures, things like that. And he's also expanding his outreach to the kids. And he's doing one more thing, if I can remember it. But he has asked me to come and help him with the Bible college. And I've went to Christ for the Nations, and I would help teach, and also to run the business. And he also starting a farm collective to feed. See, he's going to bring pastors and people that want to actually become ministers into the Bible college. The farm collective, privately owned, is going to actually feed the people, and the business, the frame business, is going to support the ministry.
Free enterprise.
Like a free, totally free enterprise system. And he needs organizers and people to run it. So I just wrote him a letter back, and I said, I'm coming.
Well, I have two people that live inside of me. One of them has said, "Yay, Emily, go for it." And the other one is this mama profile I have, and it's, "Oh no, my little girl going to live in another foreign country." Well,
it's time. I don't know when. It's going to take a lot of finances.
So every day that we have an opportunity to be together, I need to be nice to you.
That's right, even if it is 3 years.
Okay, 3 years. Do you think I can really be nice to you for 3 years?
Well, you can try.
I can.
In a spirit of gentleness.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll really work on it. But I know that in my heart that God spoke to me about that I should give people the benefit of the doubt. In other words, if you say something to me, and I had to wear this coat today because as people might know around the Tennessee Valley area, we had a couple days of cool weather, didn't we? When
it is still cool. It's going to be 20 degrees tonight.
And chill factor about 7 degrees, isn't it? But I know God said to me, is give people the benefit of the doubt. Now, what would that say to you if you're going to give people?
Don't jump to conclusions when they say or act in a certain way. Allow them the freedom to say, hey, maybe I interpreted it wrong. You know, let's check this out first. Give them the benefit of the doubt. What does it mean to you?
Well, and yeah, instead of my fault, one of my faults is somebody says something to me, and before I really think about what they might have meant, I jump down their throat. I've been known to do that in the past, my old lifetime, that yesterday,
Right.
that I would jump down their throat and say, what do you mean you're going to go to Russia and live? Don't you know?
Right.
Blah, 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 you know, and I say all the wrong things before I've had time to think. And I know I've done that to Tony, I've done that to Deanna and Anthony and all, Vicki and Chuck, everybody. Not Chuck, not since they have that mistletoe up there, and as soon as Vicki turns her head, no. I'm teasing. We tease Vicki and Chuck, but when you come to the party, if you have an opportunity, I'm changing the subject and getting on one little tiny rabbit track here. There is some mistletoe hanging over the Victory Network doorway, and if Vicki isn't just watching right there too closely, we might. Oh, she'll be watching, so I guess we better just forget that idea.
No
She'll
chance,
be under
sorry.
there, and I'll have to watch Tony then. That's
right.
That's what it'll.
Right. But see, people like me don't have to worry about it.
Why?
Because I don't have anyone to worry about right now.
Does that mean you can kiss all of them?
No.
I just read this AIDS thing this morning that said that you can't get AIDS by kissing.
Well,
so
that does not give us a license to
okay.
do that, okay?
All right, okay, very good.
Let's get back on the track.
Okay, back on track. We're talking about, we're from 1 Corinthians 4:21 that talks about coming together in love rather than criticism.
Right.
And I think that we have to take it every day from now on through the holiday season.
Just realize that everybody's kind of uptight. You know, at this point, there's a lot going on, and just to kind of, you know, before you jump to the conclusions, just kind of lay back and say, hey, let's you know, give them the benefit of the doubt.
I know that we just touched on the 4 different personalities that people have, and we did a workshop at one of the First Assembly of God not long ago. We're doing another one in January if you'd like to come to it. You're very welcome to. I think it's around the first Thursday in January, but if not, call Sister Cooper, Nell Cooper at the First Assembly of God here in Huntsville, and she can tell you the exact date. We're going to be going over the personality profile that people have, why people react differently. And if you think about it, now Tony's profile, I'll use our family as the 4 different kinds of personalities.
Okay.
Tony is very, well, he has several personalities. No, sometimes he's...
Given the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's right. But let's start with you. You're an analytical person. You're what we call competent Carla. The personality that's analytical. You're competent. You like things organized, and you got that part, I guess, from your dad too. But you want to know that everything's in place, and that you have it all laid out, your day laid out, your to-do list, your next day, and
Kind of in order. Everything's in order.
that's right.
But we have fun. We just do it in order.
You do. Now, I want to learn that. I make my list. If I can just keep up with my list, I'm going to be all right. I am called an high I, or an influencer personality. They're the type that are usually the evangelist. The evangelists, they're people who go kind of bold, and they go forward, and they'll go into unknown territory, and they're got a lot of creativity and imagination. However, they don't pay attention to details. They might get to the right city. Okay, let's all go to Kiev. But they might be at the wrong hotel, or the wrong week, or the wrong, you know. It's the details they fail to. So they need a competent Carla around to, in your case, a competent Emily, to keep somebody in order. So it takes both personalities. Then you have that domineering personality. And I think that Dee's a little bit like this. She's, and Anthony has some of these qualities. He's like you just can't move him. He's like a brick wall if you decide to move him. It doesn't matter if everybody else is doing a certain thing. He's got to be in charge of Anthony. And you know that personality we call a type A personality, or a dominant Don or dominant Donna personality.
Sounds
They got
like
to
him. It really
run
does.
things. They got to
Control.
really control. Boy, be totally in control. Well, you need those people, because if you didn't have that, you'd never have anyone. I think that since Vicky's out of the room, of course, she'll never know. Even though this is her
Hopefully she won't
television.
watch the tapes.
Right. But she's an organizer, and she's a take charge person, and that's the people that usually are the prophets. They're the ones that are people who are the Sunday school teachers.
Right.
They're the people who organize here she's organized this incredible New Year's Eve blessing, I'm calling it, for when everybody can get together. I mean, it takes a person like that
That's
to
right.
organize. Then you
Go back in the room now.
Yeah, oh, she's back in the room. We have to shut up now. Okay. But she'll surely watch the tape after saying that. But it takes that personality, or you would never have things organized and put together. And it's a different type of organizing than it is organizing your day.
Right.
She is like a visionary.
Like a master organizer.
Yes.
Okay.
And
not just of yourself, but of the things around you.
Right.
Okay.
Then you have the person who is we call them the compliant personality, or steady Stacy or Stan.
Okay.
They're the person that you could tell them, okay, I have this list and I want you to do all of these things, and they will stay there until every last thing is done. You see them out in the kitchen making sure everything's done to the... Here we've got the Vickies of the world that organize whether it's the New Year's Eve party or the big Christmas dinner that everybody's going to have. And then somebody else will go send out all the invitations and make sure and tell everybody about it. They're the kind that's kind of the promotional part.
Right.
The evangelist that's, hey, we'll all go, we'll have a great fun. And then there's the other person that sits down and makes the list. That's the Emily personality, you know, the competent
I think I have a little bit of
you have a lot of each one of those. In fact, you have 4 faces.
Oh, thanks.
You're a multifaceted personality. You can organize, and then you can stay.
I
and
think
see.
everybody probably has a little bit of everything, but they're going to be more dominant in one area.
Well, there's the thing about a person who is a steady Stacy or a steady Stan. What would you say that some of those weaknesses would? Strengths, first of all, is that they're going to stay there, and they're going to be there 25 years later. They're right there teaching the Sunday school class, or they're seeing that everything's done in the church, and
it could be a weakness because, you know, if they get stuck in one thing and the Lord wants them to, it's like, put that down, that's fine, go to the next thing. It would kind of be a hard thing for them.
Oh, very, very difficult. Cannot tolerate change very easily.
Right.
If you said to them, hey, if it was, Laura's a little bit like that. You take her and you say, okay, Laura, we're going to Chattanooga and we're leaving in about an hour. She'd say, oh no, she could not handle. They can't handle things that are on the spur of the moment.
Right.
They like to know ahead of time, plan it out, make sure the clothes are laid out, the children's food is ready, and the clothes are ready, and everything is done. Well, you get those 4 personalities together
got a team.
Well, you've got an incredibly good team. But what about when you go to a Christmas family reunion and you get them all together? How can you see? One will say, hey, let's all go to the Space Center and want to go in a couple minutes, you know, and there's Steady Stacy, what's happening?
No, we didn't have that plan. You know, that's too spur of the
We
moment.
don't even have the dishes done yet, you know, and we don't want to sweep the kitchen and get everything in order. And they want to know, they don't want to know about it today for today.
Right.
They want to know about it yesterday for next week.
Right.
And they're the kind, but it takes all of us. But the conflict comes when husband, a very dominant personality, marries a girl who is a very steady, and opposites attract. And then what happens? The husband says, I'm taking the job in Alaska. We're leaving for Fairbanks
That would be me.
in
I'm
January.
going to the Soviet Union tomorrow. Let's go.
and if you marry a person, so you better be very careful who you're marrying. We got to hear about this well, look what happened. We got
We have
another, right, maybe one of us weren't being heard. I'm not
Okay.
sure which one, but now we'll handle that. Okay. But if you would marry a person who needs to plan so far ahead, make sure they have all the money saved up, they have a real challenge with stepping out on faith to do something when they can't see the end from the beginning.
I can see that happening.
And yet you look at that other person, you think, like I look at Tony. Here's a steady person. I live that tossed salad lifestyle, you know, and here he is, organized, Marine Corps, German by birth, you know, just everything about him is very organized, and then that causes conflicts because he can't stand the house being in a tossed salad.
Oh, your house is always perfect.
Oh, come now, thanks. But I work at it, and sometimes I sneak somebody in there.
Oh, well, that helps.
Because I can't get it all done. But what can a person do to help understand a different personality?
I think it goes back to the scripture, to the spirit of love and the spirit of gentleness, just to realize that, hey, we're all different. And maybe if we can be flexible to the other person, we can avoid that conflict, you know.
How can you be flexible to another person?
Well, just like you said, don't jump to conclusions. Just before you speak, it's like taming the power of the tongue, just not saying anything, holding your tongue, and just, you know, really thinking it out before you jump into something. The other person might not be flexible. You might have to be the person that's flexible in the situation.
What about the person maybe that we're talking to today that is the steady personality, that steady Stacy or steady Stan, that doesn't want to move quickly or does not like to move with change?
You could present it logically. You know, you would kind of have to sit them down and say, okay, this is what I feel is going on, and you would have to kind of do a little, you know, presentation to them to help them adjust to that change, I think.
But what if the person listening, how could that person change without someone knowing enough, doesn't know what's happening? They don't realize they're a dominant personality. How can a steady Stacy, a person, how can they change?
I don't know. What do you think?
Be ready to sometime put the dishes under the sink or something.
And just go on and not worry about the next.
Yeah. Try real hard to change. You know, it's Lord Change Me. I'm sure you've heard of that book, Lord Change Me. Is sometimes that we have to be the one to change.
Oh,
when we realize whichever of the personalities that we have, or like you are, the combination of all the personalities. And I think that that's why in the Bible it talks about some were prophets, some teachers, some evangelists, and then you had the ones that have a gift of mercy, a gift of exhortation, and all the different gifts that we have. And if we have a gift that's different than our mate, which is usually the way it is, or our mother, and I used to wonder why my daddy always bought my mother black dresses, because he loved black. He was what we might call a winner, and he liked black. See, that even goes into our
personality. I think the Lord develops our personalities. I think we're different. And I think you're right. That is the reason why there's different gifts, because we're different people. We're made up differently. And that's how we all, you know, are the body of Christ collectively, is that we're different. If we were all the same, we'd have a terrible mess.
We have a natural tendency to like a certain thing, even in our colors. I'm an autumn, and you're probably a spring or summer, and Tony's a winter. And I guess Laura would be, she's probably a winter also. But a dark, usually a person with dark hair or dark complexion or dark eyes, they're a winter. Well, that goes all the way through to they like maroon and red. And I'm wearing red, and I normally don't wear red because an autumn doesn't normally wear red. But because it's Christmas time, I thought I would do something.
Well, see, that shows you're flexible.
Winter would like gray and silver, where an autumn likes gold and bronzes. And then you go out to buy a car, and you can only buy one car in the family, and the wife and husband almost have an argument over what color they're going to buy.
Right, because they're different people.
Yeah,
different
and here I am,
personalities.
5'2", eyes of blue, lips like.
And I've never seen you with the bright red car. I have to make that
I
note.
don't care for a silver car or a black car, and every time Tony goes to buy a car,
He
wants
likes
a
silver
car
or black. That's right.
And I like gold or bronzes, or we both agree on blue, and so that helps. But we don't happen to have a blue car, but still, if you see that you even carry those personalities into your home, that a man wants to have a room that has of paneling in it, and that you know, the dark woods and the masculine. The woman wants, or in their bedroom.
Woman wants mauve and blue.
Yes, and maybe peaches and
Peach.
turquoise. And, in the bedroom, she might even want a frilly bedspread, and he'd like to have a more tailored bedspread. So it's in all of us. We have to be able to give. So what we do is that in certain things, Tony chooses what to do. For instance,
Okay,
he
you
has
kind
a-
of divide up the decision
Right,
making.
He
That's
has
good. It works well because your house is gorgeous.
most of it is early attic. We went to mostly garage sales.
Right. But you did agree on the furniture and the colors, and it looks good.
Yeah. Well, we put covered furniture together. And we went to, he didn't like really things, when we first married 31 years ago, he didn't like second-hand things. He wanted to wait for 10 or 15 years till he could get what he wanted and then buy it. And I'd go to a garage sale and buy it and then do it over. And we always thought, well, this is just temporary until we can buy what we want. Now we've never been able to buy what we want.
Oh, no.
But now we both learned to like the temporary. Then when you really think about being here on this earth, life is temporary.
That's right.
So it really doesn't
Doesn't matter.
Who really cares? I know that back in the olden days, 31 years ago when we got married, and thank goodness it's not true now, you wanted stemware and a certain pattern of china and a certain pattern of silver. Now they just go down to the local Walmart or whatever and just buy the stainless or something, and everybody's happy because those things are unimportant
That's right.
in life. They don't really matter. In fact, I've come to the conclusion that the fewer things you can have,
The better off
it
you are.
really it just lightens your load. Then you
That's
don't
right.
have to worry about the strong man breaking in and stealing. Who would have things from the garage sale?
Well, I know with me, I used to have a really nice home
Yeah,
and
you
all
did.
this furniture. I had a really nice setup. Now, I mean, I don't have my furniture anymore. And you know what? Do you know how easy it's going to be for me to move to Russia? Throw my clothes in a box and I'm out of here. You know, and I just feel so much lighter and more flexible. You know, it's just, it's a whole different way of looking at things, a whole different way of living, you know.
And see, every time you say that, I get this little knife in my. Does this saber belong to you, Emily? No, I'm happy for you, and it's really, really interesting that my mother always wanted to be a missionary, and I always thought I would be a missionary. And I'm not sure what I am now, but I guess I'm a missionary too.
You're in home missions. Home missions.
That's right.
That's right.
But then my daughter's a missionary, and so I'm happy about it. But I never thought about a mother having mixed feelings about their child
Being
going
a missionary.
to Europe or Asia or any of the Soviet Union or any of the places that you're going to. It's going to be really different, even though you were just there in September.
Living there and visiting there is going to be a different experience.
Fact that it's in Bulgaria, the hotel that you stayed in, and some of those places where now it's totally free, I mean, or it apparently is. But I want to caution myself and you and anyone listening is that we got to remember that we could be duped by the
That's
greatest
right.
lie that Satan has ever pulled.
My spirit tells me it's false peace. It is a peace, but it's that false peace where the men cry, peace, peace. You know, and I realize that. You know, I'm not ignorant of that. And I know that the time is really short. I think everyone, people that aren't even saved at work are saying, hey, the Lord's coming back. You know, it's just an awareness that people that are spiritually tuned in to know that our days are really numbered, especially with all the freedom that's going on. Communist regimes just giving up, you know.
Well, and it could also be just they're still going forward. You've got to remember that even though it appears, if people could remember, you said it when you came back from Russia, and you said there would be these posters on the windows, but when you got inside, there were no food, no clothing, maybe one dress or two dresses.
Dresses all in the shop windows, and you'd go in, there'd be one dress, and there'd be 50 people fighting over it.
So,
you know,
what we got to remember is they're opening, in my opinion, they're opening up this because they're broke, they're bankrupt. They need the money from the West. They need the goods from
You're
the
exactly
West.
right.
They need the things that we have here, so that otherwise they have no food to feed the soldiers, the people. So if we keep our perspective and remember that this is what's going on over there, possibly, just keep it in the back of your mind. Well, we want each one of you to have a wonderful holiday time, and if you will just give back to
our point.
Verse. Yes, back again.
Go ahead and read that again.
Okay, which do you choose? Shall I come with a punishment and scolding, or shall I come with quiet love and gentleness? Which do you want? Shall I come to you to
I'll
punish
take
or
quiet love and gentleness.
Spirit of gentleness. And that's, of course, 1 Corinthians 4:21. Oh, what a beautiful thing it is that we must remember to give people the benefit of the doubt. And to just think, hey, maybe they didn't really mean it exactly like it was, but it could be that it...
Well, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt this season.
Right.
I'll make that...
Hallelujah.
Amen. I'll be nice.
Oh, you will? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Well,
that
thank
you're
you.
being nice and that it's real.
Amen.
Okay. And we want you to have a wonderful week in holiday season. And if you can at all, if all the tickets aren't taken, please call 461-8148 and see if there are any tickets available for you to come to the marvelous, blessed New Year's Eve party here at Victory Network. And along with Emily Libhart, I'm Bonnie Libhart on Vision Plus. And without a vision, the people perish. We want you to have a vision of enjoying your holiday season. And bless your heart for watching.
His presence with thanksgiving in your heart, your voices raised, your voices raised, in glory and honor and power unto Him, Jesus, the name above all names. Come into His presence with thanksgiving in your heart and give Him praise, and give Him praise. Come into His presence with thanksgiving in your heart. Your voice is raised. Your voice is raised. Glory and honor and power unto Him. Jesus, the name above.